What's going down, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Shit Talking Sundays in the Light of a Warrior. Um, Today, we're going to, uh, my warrior friend is going to talk a little bit about um, her journey of being finally diagnosed and the misdiagnosis that she's had. Um, so remember, everything that we say on this show is we're not medical doctors. This is just her journey. If you have a medical emergency or anything, please call 911 and seek medical attention. All right. Without further ado, let's bring on our MS warrior. What's up? What's up?
What's
How
up?
are
What's
you?
up, AG the dad? How are you today?
Hey, I can't complain. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. Let's see, better than last Tuesday, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you know, last show was about MS and me with UTI.
Hmm.
So that is well taken care of, and I must say I am feeling terrific.
You
So
definitely seem a little bit more energetic than you did last time because last time you definitely seemed like you were out of it.
yeah, I wasn't
Mm.
feeling too hot. You know, those with getting that infection under control, it got that helped my MS symptoms go back under the blanket, let's say, because with us warriors, when we're sick and we have some type of thing going on outside of the realm of MS, that does affect our symptoms and just as well can cause us to relapse. I was that wasn't going to happen, and it didn't, so that was a blessing too. It's not too often that I come across infections, being sick, or anything. My Even though my medicine
Hmm.
suppresses my immune system, I still, I believe, have a very healthy immune system because, I have grandkids here under my roof and stuff, and sometimes when they catch the yucky stuff, I don't get it,
Right.
so I think my system's a little bit stronger than what I give it credit. And Larry always reminds me, well, I think your system's a little bit more stronger than what you think. So
Mhm.
that on that note,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So yes, I am feeling pretty good. Actually, by the end of the week, I was already out and about on the weekend. I did post a little short video to my warriors out there. Hey, everybody.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
yep. So tonight, let me first say, anything that I talk about on the podcast tonight is solely from my experiences. I'm not a doctor, nor am I giving you medical advice. It's solely what works for me and what I do. Like AG the dad stated in the intro of the video, um, always call, or if you need medical attention, call 911, seek a medical attention, and call your team who takes care of you the best. So, and
Right.
with yes. So,
So, with that also being said, if you like where we're headed, please follow us on YouTube at Shit Talking Sundays. If you're
yes,
not, please also don't forget to like that, that little button down there.
yeah,
Don't
down
forget
below.
to share so that we can bring some awareness to this, and tell everybody to subscribe, because if everybody subscribes, the better this content is going to get. Don't forget to
Exactly.
don't forget the notification button. But with that said, I'm going to give the floor to you.
All
And you know
right.
what? You seem like you're full of energy today, so I'm just going to let you do your thing. And if I need to step back in, I'm going to
Okay.
step back in.
Okay. Yeah. If you see me going like this, knock, knock.
Yeah,
Hey, are you
I got you.
there?
I'm going to be right here listening, but the show is
Yes.
yours. All right.
Okay, yes. So guys, hey, first off, let me say, hey to all my warriors out there. Hope you've had a terrific Tuesday. And more so, thank you for tuning in to spread the word about MS, our journey with MS. So today I want to hit some topics of diagnosis. That's that's really hard. Um, you know, honest warriors, I can remember um some And I briefly mentioned in the beginning of our podcast 3 weeks ago. Well, actually, I think tonight's our fourth podcast that I had some tingling across my face and my lips felt greasy, and that lasted for a couple days, and it didn't get better. It got worse. So I went into the doctor, well, to the ER, and I was like, you know what, I better have this checked out. So they had to rule out a stroke, of course, and they did. And then I had to do an MRI, and they said, you got some predominant spots in an area where multiple strikes, and it looks like you're having a relapse. And a relapse at that point was diagnosis, you know, at that point, you know, excuse me, I've jumped ahead, actually 10 years prior to diagnosis. And this is how you could go misdiagnosed. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit off right now with all the stuff that I want to say in my head. You know how we MSers do it. Sometimes we get sidetracked or blurt everything out. So let me reel everybody back in. 10 years prior to diagnosis, um, greasy lip feeling, tingling across my face, numbness across my chin, but I felt fine. But I knew with that happening, something was wrong or could go wrong. Went into the ER. They ruled out a stroke, um, and said, you do have some spots in a predominant area where MS strikes, and the only way to diagnose you is not by blood work. It's not by an MRI, even though the MRI is showing that I had white spots in a predominant area where multiple sclerosis strikes. They need to obtain the fluid off your spinal cord to check what call for bands in your fluid, in your cerebral fluid, that indicates, that you've got abnormalities in that fluid, and that's how they are able to clinically diagnose someone with. It took me a couple of months. When they gave me all this information, I was scared, really, really, really scared. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel sick. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to face this. It took 3 months about for a neurologist, a surgeon. She kept calling me, and she was like, you really need to have this test done, Celeste. And, so we can get a jump on things if things turn to be, a positive diagnosis for MS. And I said, okay, let's do it, as long as I could have my son in there with me, in the room with me. It's an outpatient procedure. So they, and set me up, scheduled me. My son went in holding my hand because I was scared. And, they have you get on, the bed in a regular doctor's office, and you get in a fetal position, and they, needles about this long, and they numb you. And then the needle that's going in your back to collect that fluid is about this long. Scary thing, and you're awake, mind you, you're awake. And I was thinking, I've got to be tough. I can't let this scare me any longer. I need to know, um, and so unfortunately, that doctor at that time, so we did the spinal tap, lumbar puncture. And she wasn't able to collect the fluid from, my spine. And she says, well, can I do it again while you're here? And I was like, well, shoot, do I have to, Uncle Phil, I'll come live. From UK, yes, we definitely would like to have you. Definitely. Um, so, I said, yeah. And I said, well, do you have to numb me again? And she was like, yeah, I'm still afraid of those videos, those needles that you got to numb me, afraid that's going to hurt, So she tried again, second time, to draw fluid, and still she couldn't get no fluid. So I was like, well, so The moral to that story is I went undiagnosed, for the next 10 years. No signs, no more, no symptoms. Now, thinking back on it from the time that I had a relapse and was diagnosed almost 5 years ago, little subtle symptoms that I was having in just my life. Now, learning about multiple sclerosis, now that all leads up to those were little signs letting me know that those were little tiny attacks happening, um, so that was my diagnosis, you know. Um, During that course, of course, anything for me not going right with my body, even before multiple sclerosis, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to the doctor. Oh, I gotta go." I always took care of my health. I didn't put things off for too long, except this multiple sclerosis diagnosis. I was always like, "Oh, let me go," to make a doctor phone call. So that, was that 10-year span of little subtle things. Every now and then I would feel like I had a cold or coming down with something, but I wasn't sick. No fever, no congestion, no cough, no headache. I just, feeling that you get like you're going to come down with something, like things start to happen. I would get really tired. I get fatigued, a little weakness, like blah, and chill for the day and take a nap or whatever. You want to say something?
I have a question.
Yeah,
Um, you said you were misdiagnosed for about, you say 10 years, right?
correct.
Do you think that if you were diagnosed sooner and got a hold of it sooner, things would be better for you now? Or do you think it probably wouldn't have made that much of a difference? You're just glad you got a hold of it, period.
AG, it's so hard to say because unless you go through the treatment process, you don't know what could have been. Because at that moment, who knows if the medications did anything for me, or they could have. So that's something I'll never know the answer to, but I replay this over and over in my head, and I've had to move past it because it bothered me. I blame sometimes myself
Hmm.
because sorry, would have
It's all right. Take your time. It's all good. Take your time.
would have I can't keep thinking would if, you know, because I can't go backwards. I can't change today to 15 years ago now, so I just have to move forward now on doing the best that I can and researching um this illness,
Mhm,
medications, what's out there now today that can make me live a healthier, longer, and better life,
mhm, mhm,
So, but I always tell everybody don't put it off. And this is where misdiagnosis comes in too, because this disease mimics so many others that
mhm,
sometimes, and I'm not going to say everyone's doctor or um you could warriors could have experiences and some may not, but the symptoms mimic a lot of other things. First thing that doctors think when you tell them your symptoms, and or when you go into the ER, they want to make sure you're not having a stroke, because our
mhm,
symptoms mimic stroke. It mimics lupus. A lot of the things that people who suffer from lupus, and as you know, it's an autoimmune disease, the symptoms are the same,
mhm.
so um things just get put off, and if you don't have the right test done, and just so happens if you don't have an MRI done, you that doctor or that ER may not feel that you need one. That right there is not gonna show. Of course, everyone knows if you don't have an MRI done, they're not gonna know if you have spots, in an
Hmm.
area of your
Right.
brain where MS strikes. Um, and also, for 5 years, multiple doctors that I have seen that were my doctors, kept blaming smelling on, oh, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. But I've not ran across yet anyone, um, or any research done on the internet. And I've been researching for 5 years, swelling, from here down to my shoulder on both sides,
Hmm.
and they kept doctors tell me, "Oh, well, I just don't know what that is. Oh, you have MS. It's MS. It's MS." And then same doctor I've been seeing for the last 3 years. Oh, that's fibromyalgia. What? Well, you've been telling me you didn't know what it was for the last 3 years. I've been
Hmm.
suffering. So doctors don't know a whole lot about multiple sclerosis. They're learning, you know. So when you have it and you start having all these other
Hmm.
problems, they don't know what it is, why multiple sclerosis is
Hmm.
causing it, so they can tell you, well, I think it's this, but it may not be.
Right.
So you really have to and and of course, people don't walk around every day, AG, thinking, "Oh, I don't feel good," or "I have this. Oh, I might have MS." Hell
Right.
no. People don't walk around doing that. But if you have an issue and you go to the ER or your doctor and they send you to a neurologist, and whatever your outcome is with that doctor, research, research it, know
Hmm.
know what they're telling you, so you know if you think that, hey, Steph, hi. um so so what's the possibility, probability, or with that opinion from that doctor, it's your right to get a second opinion, you know
Right.
s- and that's with, I would think with anyone, with anybody, if you break your arm and the doctor tells you, "Ooh, I can't put it back together, we have to leave you like this," you're not going to go for that. You're going to go find a doctor that can give you some answers and put your arm back, right?
Hmm.
So that's the same thing, with MS, and the subtle symptoms I was having at that point, it would have never crossed my mind at all, of all things, multiple sclerosis, you know? So,
You know, one of the things that you had said, when you were getting a little sad, I I don't know if this maybe is correct, but would you say that whether they caught it then or now, it's kind of irrelevant to a certain extent because the disease in itself, whether you found out now or 10 years from now or whenever, is not curable,
mm,
but it's maintainable to a certain degree.
right. It's irreversible, but the medications slow the progression, slow the progression.
Okay.
um you know uh Us warriors can live a full extent of life just like everyone else, or sometimes, and it depends on the health of the individual, because if you have other ailments, of course, the MS makes things worse, or your ailment can trigger the MS to get worse if your DMT, disease modifying treatment, that you're on, you know, works 100% for you. So those things all together, um, um, play a big, big part in your overall health. like with me, and they've told me you have multiple lesions on right and left sides of your brain, down your spine, your neck, down your spine. And one doctor told me, at your age, like if I'm 87 or something, but he said, at your age, a lot of people are already in a wheelchair. And I was like, yeah, I was like, okay, sure. I've seen it. And this is crazy thing because years ago I worked in IHSS field, and the lady I took care of, I'll never forget, her name was Marguerite. She had progressive multiple sclerosis. She was already bedbound, but she was in her 70s. Sweet, sweet lady, and then so, but you don't know and settle um with what you're being told. You look into things and you listen to your body and do some research. Now, I'm not telling you to get on internet and become a hypochondriac. Oh, I got this, so I'm this and this that. No, that's not what I mean. So you just have to follow through. And I always say it in the videos and on my YouTube, please stay diligent, take care of you. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, to shed some light on my journey and what I can actually accomplish by these videos. It may run, you know, in the hands of someone, and with all of us warriors together, make differences amongst each other. I do believe that um, food has a lot, and for me, plays a big part on how I feel. Uh, Chocolate, no. Well, let me change that. Chocolate bar candy, mm-mm. I could have a smidge. That's it. If I eat a half by 3 days, 4 days, I'm losing my leg, my mobility changes. I don't know if it's the caffeine in it that does that, because chocolate is full of caffeine. Sugar causes inflammation. Anything that causes inflammation in a healthy body will do twice the damage in a MS body, because we already have lesions, that are open and exposing our nerves, and inflammation activates that. And that causes our symptoms to be heightened to where it can put you in a relapse, and then you have to be on steroids and stuff like that. So that I've kind of learned, and I paid attention to how certain stuff that I eat, how it makes me feel 2 3 days later. Um, So, yeah, pay attention, to your body just as well as, with anything else. Um, you know, diabetics and stuff like that. Before becoming diabetic, I'm sure you've realized or felt, some change in your body after you drank something sugary or ate, or, the foods that you ate, it changes that insulin and stuff like that. So it's all about key, and don't let things go unnoticed. That's, a big thing. Too many things with MS. Um, you can get a misdiagnosis, you know, with that, because it, like I said, it mimics tingling in your feet, your fingers, neuropathy, stuff like that. I don't know what Uncle
You
Phil
know,
is saying.
it's funny you mentioned tingling, right? Um,
Yes.
because I have tingling in my fingers, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes, and for people out there that are going, oh my God, right this minute I've got tingling. Man, there's a whole slew of things that
Yes.
cause that. So don't don't just assume, oh, I got MS. No, 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 no. Like I
Yeah.
said, if you
No.
think, don't self-diagnose yourself.
Mm-mm.
Go to a doctor. If any of these symptoms that she talks about on here sound familiar, then please reach out to a doctor and ask your doctor Is it
Mhm.
possible? There are tests that they can
Right.
run to help make a better decision. Tingling could be because you're not drinking enough water, so your arteries are not flowing well. I mean, there's a thousand different
Tons.
things.
Yeah.
So we're not doctors,
Uh-uh.
we are not medical professionals. We are just, in this case, I'm AG the dad. I'm just a guy out here. Didn't They're
We
supposed to
all
come on here and
die.
tell you it's shit talking Sundays, and every day is shit talking Sundays. And I'm just here to make sure that everybody learns something. You grow
Right.
mentally and think outside the box. And like I said, if any of this pertains to you, please reach out to your doctor and tell somebody. If there's any guys out there that are suffering from MS, like Uncle Phil, um, reach out to us, shoot us your email, and I'm gonna shoot you a future link so that you can come on our show,
Yes,
because
definitely. We'd love to have you.
I would like to, hear a male's point of view on the things that you suffer
Right.
from day to day, just because that's just you know
Yeah, it's tough. Your health is fine. Phil, are you on any disease modifier?
you know um that's a
So, but
question
you
for
could,
Uncle.
yeah,
Yeah, for
you,
Uncle Phil.
yeah. So, Phil, you could definitely chime in. We'll try and get your questions answered. Oh, nothing. Okay, okay. What type of MS do you have, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, so you can't get treatment in UK, correct?
Mm. But
I
their lifespan, they said the average life is 83. That's blessed. The Most High says three score plus 10, one score is 20 years, three score is 60 plus 10, that's 70. Everything else after
you
that is
lost me a long time ago.
by the grace of God. So,
Yeah, hey,
all praise to
I
the Most High. Anyway,
I did graduate, but you lost me with all those numbers. I was like, what?
quick calculations, quick calculations.
Right.
But
It's always good to have. Oh, you don't have us. Is this? Oh, yeah, right. No, you, of course, this isn't a boxing channel. You're in the right place. We have a
I,
jokester on our hands. That's nice.
we got jokes, huh?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yes. So, but yeah, like AG was saying, you of course you don't want to say, you know, all this, your little symptoms. Do you have MS and stuff like that? My reason for saying misdiagnosis tonight and diagnosis is you want to definitely not happy with the answers you're getting from your doc. You could, it's your right to get a second opinion. And if you do get a diagnosis of MS, my best advice for any warrior is to learn as much as you can about multiple sclerosis, and then learn about how it will affect your body. And every one of us is different. It doesn't affect every warrior the same. It can
Mhm.
be different. And speaking of me, and I'm not ashamed to say I'm 56, and they say usually that you have it at least 10 years prior to diagnosis, and that basically kind of timing too for me. It's weird, so um you just take care of you, do what you can, research. And me, I think about what I eat now, and determine my body. I know what I shouldn't be doing, what I should do. And it doesn't mean, you have to stop living your life. No, it just puts your into a different perspective. And you can't, of course, do things as you would. Some people can. Some people are still running, jogging, swimming, running in marathons and stuff like that. So it doesn't mean, your life is over. It doesn't. And some of us um, don't believe in, taking the medications for MS, for whatever their reasons being, and that's their choice. Some choose the holistic approach and stuff. So there's a wide spectrum that you may find that works perfectly for you if you were to be, diagnosed with MS, such as myself. So I try and do not give up smoking. Smoking was one of the worst things that I could ever, continue to do. Smoking, and I believe that played a big factor in how well I felt all the time. And of course, I knew that anyway. But just one day, I said, you know what, these smokes are making me too sick. I have to give it up. And July will be 2 years. So, to take account for if I wanted to feel better, So um that for me was a big deal. And now the eating things that don't make me feel too good, and you may experience them too. I've had a couple of warriors speak about chocolate, so yeah, it's weird how it can affect our bodies, but that's just how multiple sclerosis is. Every warrior's story is unique, and I could only give you my experiences, and you guys can share yours with me. I would like to have some of my warriors chime in, be a guest. I'd gladly welcome someone who would like to come on and share their story, with the podcast and reach some other warriors. Let's have some conversation. Just how MS is affecting your daily, and share, compare, and support. Strength comes in numbers, and I'd gladly answer any questions anyone may have as far as um, what I've done to get to this point. I've lost the mobility in my legs before. Yes, I had to go to physical therapy, speech therapy. I had to go to, as you guys know, it affects us. You know, our speech. Just a wide spectrum. Yeah, you know.
Mhm.
So it's like I could probably go on for talk for days and days and days about the MS, how it affects and what you do for it,
Mhm.
and what could be different, what would be different between you and I, you know. So your symptoms may not be what mine are or at the level mine are, because there's four different types of MS. So I
Right.
have remitting relapsing MS, and
Okay.
and from myself to someone who has progressive MS, from what I know, is their their symptoms are they stay at the same level daily. They don't come and go. Remitting relapsing MS means your symptoms come and go, your relapses come and go. Someone with progressive MS stays at that level consistently in
Mhm.
lifetime, and it may progress to get even more progressive at that point. So, and that's where these medicines come in at, is because now going back to that question, AG, you said, would if, back then, now 15 years ago, um, I can say just from my experience being on these medications, and I've been on Abagio, and that's oral. I've been on Tecfidera, which was an oral. I've been on Copaxone, which was an injection that I did 7 days a week for 3 years straight. And now I'm on Kesimpta. So, what, how, in the levels of um, downtime that I've had with MS,
Mhm.
there was a period of 3 months where I couldn't stay awake. I would be up for a minute and go back to sleep. It's like, and I didn't have a choice.
Man, so crazy that when you say misdiagnosis, right? Um, I went through and still go through or am dealing with a concussion. And
Right.
first it was I couldn't sleep for, like I said, about 20 days. And then it went
Mm.
to now, um I could sleep no problem. Naps, I enjoy them. Those are, I mean, and I'm starting to feel like, am I starting to become grandpa? You know, this. I mean, I know I am a grandfather, also on top of a AG the dad, uh,
Right.
but yeah, it's so crazy. So if I was a hypochondriac, I guess if you want to call it that, I could see me going, "Oh my God, am I developing MS from a concussion?" So is it possible
Right.
that I catch a MS from a concussion?
No. But I
Are you
can
sure?
see. Yeah, just like someone that would have a little bit of numbness in their left foot or their toes or something, think that.
So what
No,
causes it?
of
What
course not.
causes MS?
MS, where your own body, your own system is attacking your nerves, like your defense mechanism that turns on to fight colds and viruses and such. Well, at one
Hmm.
somehow in one point of your life that didn't shut off, and it's attacking the coating that's around your nerves, which is called myelin sheath. So once that's exposed, that's where the missignaling starts and gives us problems speaking, affects our vision, whatever part of the brain that is being attacked, that's
Hmm.
where what part of the body you're going to have problem in, and it affects our muscles, our regardless of where the nerves are damaged.
Hmm.
It depletes your muscles and makes us really, really, really weak. And see, that's something too now, misdiagnosed. Before I
Hmm.
was diagnosed with MS, I kept my legs felt really, really, really heavy. At this point, I
Hmm.
was working 4 hours a day. And by the time I got off work, I felt like I couldn't lift my legs. They just felt so heavy. I was starting to feel really I can't be this tired. And to be honest, at that point, I was like, okay, I'm pre-menopause. And I went to the doctor. They blamed it on menopause, you
Hmm.
know, doctors. Oh,
Hmm.
you're menopause. So I was like, I'm gonna roll with it. Menopause, and I'm getting older, and I'm just tired all the time, and da 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 da. So, I mean, now I can say this, guys. I went to the doctor several times for that specific problem, and I kept getting pushed off that it was menopause in my age, but lo and behold, here I am years later. And yes, that feeling, that problem got worse and worse and worse. Once that that first relapse hit, that was my diagnosis. So I had these issues leading up to the big one that
Hmm.
gave me a diagnosis. But by that time, of course, now I have multiple lesions because for that 10 years I had the disease already, but it hadn't done its damage until that 10-year mark, and that's when my life changed, forever. So there was little things leading up to that where I got told, something else was
Hmm.
wrong, and I can clearly state now being diagnosed with MS, that's what I had years ago. And I was being misdiagnosed, I was being told something else,
Hmm.
so um it can happen, and just like with anything else, but you have to do your homework regardless of what the doctor tells you. You could have anything. Let's go fibromyalgia, because that's what they told me that I have, was fibromyalgia, after seeing me over 3 years and me complaining and telling you, please do something about it, run tests.
Hmm.
They don't want to run tests because I have MS. They blame MS. You can't blame everything on MS. If I come into your office, with, and let's just, I'm going to say this funny. If I come in with, diarrhea, are you going to blame that on MS? Or are you going to say, oh, what'd you eat yesterday?
You
You
know
know,
what? I'm sorry to say, but if you came in with diarrhea, I'm gonna say it. Shit talking
Talking
Sundays
Sundays.
is every day is shit talking Sundays. And if you have diarrhea,
Yeah. You know what? I managed to say something every damn podcast about shit. So I
yeah, I've
guess,
noticed that. So
yeah.
you know what? I think people, look, do me a favor out there, all my
Stephanie.
loyal shit talking Sunday fans. If
Put up some
you
boo boo
hear,
emojis.
no, if you hear somebody say shit ever, say every day is shit talking
The talking
Sundays,
Sundays.
or it's shit talking Sundays, or whatever. But every time you hear shit from now on, reference and say every day is shit talking Sundays.
Yeah, this seems to be my thing. But hey, just keeping it real though. Just
Right,
keeping it
right, right.
real. So, but it's happened to me. I'm not making this up. This is, just this is my truth. And you just can't, they just can't. So you have to do a little Stephanie put a shit emoji. I like
Mm.
that. So, but anything could be anything, but the thing is know your anything and be content with what doctors are telling you. And me myself with this MS, the doctors can tell me you have a hangnail. That's a hangnail there, and I'm going to research it and I'm going to make sure and maybe even get a second opinion just because of this life changing disease that I now have.
Um,
So
just fun fact, real quick. Fun fact. Um, the shit emoji that you see down here, that you guys call the shit emoji, technically it is a scoop of chocolate ice cream. I'm just saying
is it?
that is what that emoji is. That emoji is technically a scoop of chocolate ice cream. Now,
That's poop.
this, this, this is poop. This is shit. This is flies on shit. This is shit
That
talking Sundays, where every day is shit talking Sundays. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please like, please share, please subscribe,
and
please tell a friend.
subscribe.
Look, you thought
Yes.
this was going to be some boring MS talk about a journey of BS. No, we're going to make it live. We're going to make you understand. We want you, if you have a question, we want to answer it. So
Yes.
look, on a serious note, MS is not a joking matter. If you feel like you have MS, if you feel like you have any medical situation, please go out there and see your doctor. If you're feeling like you're having a medical emergency, call 911. We are not doctors. We are just giving you, actually, she is just giving you her MS journey. I personally do not have MS. I feel horrible for anybody who does, and that's why I'm trying to also bring light as AG the dad. But with that being said, carry on, my friend. Carry on, my warrior friend.
Yeah. So what I'll say on this is that if your physician, your neurologist tells you you have spots in a predominant area where MS strikes, don't walk away from that. Do the test that you need to do. Today's day and age with technology, even though 15 years wasn't that far back, now they can diagnose you. You don't have to have that lumbar puncture done. There's other ways now of them detecting, diagnosing you with MS. Um, don't let it go without you getting to the bottom of it and getting a clear diagnosis. So then at that point, Uncle Phil, is MS incurable? No, it's not. It's not curable. Hoping one day that they will find a cure. Um, from a lot of reads that I've been doing and since COVID, the new vaccines they've come across making the vaccine that can, they think they're getting close enough to where a vaccine can um, heal some damage of your nerves. Now, that's a research that I've done from Harvard. But anyway,
You know, one thing
he
you
said you
also,
dudes are making me sad.
you know, one of the things that Uncle Phil, you have to also understand is this is not contagious. Okay.
No,
Um, this is not something you can touch somebody and you're gonna, oh, you touch me,
nuh-uh.
you're so this is part of the reason I'm trying to bring awareness that it's not
Awareness. Yeah,
something that people need to be worried about for themselves. So don't be afraid to embrace your friends and be like,
right.
hey, if you have a MS, man, don't be afraid to help them. Like I said, I don't have MS. This is a friend of mine, and I want to help her bring awareness to multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, it definitely it's not contagious. It's something, that you have in your system turned on and didn't shut off when your body was fighting a virus, and it's attacking your nerves,
And
so
also, real quick, Uncle Phil, I didn't mean to insinuate that you didn't know that MS is that you were scared that you can catch it. I just wanted to make sure that people knew in general. So I that wasn't directed at you, you know, um, but you know,
yeah.
cool.
Hi, Jason. Glad I'll come back if his instant enough, or I'll catch the yes, do. We've had another a couple laughs about poop poop. Again, like last week. But Jason, I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you for supporting your warrior. I so appreciate it. So yes, being diagnosed and being misdiagnosed it's very important, and I wish everyone well with MS because it's life altering, and don't be afraid to speak on it with family because you'll need the support, and you'll need the understanding, and why not? Strength comes in numbers. And that's why I chose to, do a podcast and my YouTube channel. You could catch me at my MS Journey on Kisimta, and also here on Shit Talking Sundays every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Every week, we'll discuss a different topic with MS, and I'm sure you'll get a couple laughs out of that because somehow I managed to say something about shit, and and that brings
Everybody knows that if you say shit, you have to say every day is shit talking Sundays. And this is shit talking Sundays, and I'm AG the dad.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it does, Jason. Affects all of us different in different ways. I just said that. How I'm affected by MS, Jason may not be affected in the way as I am with multiple sclerosis. It is a autoimmune disease. You're right. And it changes the course of things a lot with medications that we take. It, like say with the COVID vaccine, even though we I would say, I'm not going to say we, because your view on being vaccinated, having multiple sclerosis, may be different, than my view. But I got vaccinated because, honestly, because someone I love passed away from COVID, and I wasn't vaccinated, and that changed my mind, and so that the COVID vaccine washes out. Um, no, excuse me, the Kesimpta washes out the vaccine. So things like that we have to deal with to protect our own self in many ways, that our medicines can wash out um, medications that we need for something else in our body. So it's um, really hard to balance things, because then you have
Mhm.
choices. Should I take this? And if I do, what's going to happen? If I don't, what's going to happen? So we warriors got to make some big decisions, in our wellness,
Right.
period.
Um,
You know,
Also,
um,
just quick
yeah,
disclaimer, we are not
yeah,
telling
doctors.
you you should or
Mm-mm.
shouldn't get vaccinated. Okay, that I firmly
No,
believe that that is a personal choice. and you have to make that for yourself, and you will be the one that's going to have to pay for the consequences of the
Yes.
decision that you make. But with that also being said, I do think that um, you should also try to look out for other people, because you just never know who may be immune deficient. And sometimes
Yes.
immune deficiency isn't something that they did something wrong to get, so you go, oh, you it's your fault, you got it.
Right.
You can't look at it like that. Some people are
Mm-mm.
born with it, some people are, it's hereditary. There's many different ways that person can get an immune deficiency. So
Deficiency. Yeah.
don't
Autoimmune
think that,
disease.
yes, don't think that this is just one of many diseases out there that can give you that. Like we said, we're not
Right.
doctors, but we're just having an open discussion forum. So
Right.
anyway,
Right.
my bad. back
Yeah.
back to back to your story.
Yeah. So if anyone like Phil here and even Jason, do you guys have other auto, or Jason, I know you do. You're my warrior. But in that too, um, yeah, MS is it's a mother fo. So, but and it's also kind of said in the medical books that if you have multiple sclerosis, you have a higher probability of getting a second autoimmune disease. So we're faced, possibly with, you know who knows, you know only and if that happens. Well, Phil, I'm glad you're here by mistake, because you may run across someone one day who has multiple sclerosis like I do, and you may be able to enlighten them and give them some support on their journey with multiple sclerosis. Yes, and actually, warriors have to take vitamin D every day because we are depleted. Multiple sclerosis depletes our vitamin D. We don't go out in the sun much because that exacerbates our lesions, our plaque. So the heat is our enemy. It makes us sicker. It everything. Sorry, I'm making you sad, but don't be sad. And you don't have to be sad for me either, because I'm living my best life. I have a wonderful support system, and that's all that I could ask for. I'm very loved, and that's all I need. And I get by. I do what I do to take care of myself, to get the proper rest, the proper medication that works for me. And I must say, the once a month injections and how I've been feeling. I just did my 11th injection on the 27th. Thank you. And um, I don't think I have felt better on any other medication, to be honest. This one has done done the best so far, um, for me. Now, in the next, let's see, by I believe July, I'll have my yearly MRI. And if things are going how they are now, there will probably be no lesions. Thank God. Let's knock on wood, guys. And then I'll just keep moving on with the Kesimpta. Steph, you did too. I love you, my honey bunch. Jason, did you say I don't take vitamins? I probably should. I do take what we call a DMT, disease modifier. Yeah, Jason. So your doctor doesn't have you on vitamins. You probably don't need them. I just started working again, doing a job I can do. Make it. Oh, good for you. Hey, I miss working. I say that from time to time, but then I start to feel too tired. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I don't work. But okay, Jason, good
Yes,
for
yes,
you. Good
yes.
good for you. So that means if you're able to go start working, that means you're feeling good, warrior. Thank God, huh? Bye, Phil. Thanks for stopping by and visiting. I hope it was informative for you and
Yes.
you got to laugh.
Please don't forget to share, subscribe,
Thank you.
like, and let everybody know about it, man.
Yeah,
Spread the word,
exactly.
man. We do more than just MS. We do a physical fitness, um, a weekly message, fitness tip. We we air a podcast of
Thank you, Phil.
church service every
Yes.
Sunday at 9:30 on Shit Talking Sundays. Um, and we will have a monthly message from Pastor Phil from Calvary Christian Center. You know,
Nice.
we do
Yeah.
a morning coffee where we all get together and we just you know, fellowship and talk about events and bring
Yes.
awareness.
Yes,
So
and there will be other people to invite it to the show. We'll have guests. AG, the dad, will have his guest on Shit Talking Sundays, of course. And if you're interested, guys, in being on his podcast or sharing your journey with me, spreading the word on my podcast in the light of a warrior, please reach out to either one of us. If you have even if you have a specific subject you would like AG the dad to chime in on with you, or with me with multiple sclerosis, disease, then welcome, welcome. We want to spread the word, share, compare, and support. That's why AG has put me on with the MS to spread the word and give some positivity, to everyone that's suffering with MS. Some hope. It just a simple conversation, to let you know you're not in it alone. Even though I may not suffer from the exact symptoms you have, but I suffer on a daily basis from multiple symptoms of MS, and I know you do as well. But this is why we're here, and you get a couple laughs out of it too. So it's been a nice show this evening, with speaking on my diagnosis and some misdiagnosis along the road as well. And next week, I'll be chiming in. Who knows? I'm gonna leave that as a little surprise, because I'm working on a guest. I'm working on a guest, so I'll save that for closer date to next week to know, let you guys in on possibly having a guest on the podcast. So I want to thank everyone who did chime in tonight. I'm probably going to be wrapping it up now. It's almost about an hour, and leave you guys on this note. For anyone who is with mental illness, depression, from whatever ailment your body may be going through, please reach out to AG the dad, or me, your warrior. Um, we'd gladly have conversations with you, maybe direct you to get some phone numbers, possibly for help, or just, you may just need a ear. I've been there, done that. So living with an ailment that's plaguing your body, whether it's MS, diabetes, anything, in anxiety, you know, anything, we're here for anyone who needs, to reach out and gain some support. I'd be more than happy to speak with anyone on those levels. That's what it's all about for me.
right on, right on. Like I said, I'm trying to bring awareness for everybody. If you have a friend or family member that's suffering from anything, like I said, anything, let me know. I would be interested in at least hearing about it. Maybe I could bring it on to my morning coffee, and we
Hmm.
can bring some awareness to it. Um, and if we could turn it into some type of show where we can bring more awareness to different things. There are a lot of things that are out there that affect
Exactly.
people, and
Yeah.
sometimes people are treated cruelly. And um, if I can help bring awareness, maybe there'll be a little bit more compassion in the world,
Right. Yeah.
so
A lot of people don't know. You can't judge a book by its cover. My last podcast last Tuesday um, happened to be about someone kind of misjudged me in the store the other day for being in the store electric
Mm-hmm.
cart. And the prior show, we spoke on that about people judging a book by its cover, and then it just so happened to be about riding an electric chair. You don't look sick, and the young dude, I know that's what he thought is, you don't look sick. Why are you in the chair? Yeah, I get tired too, and ride those when I don't feel like walking, and that it was funny because my prior show we just spoke about that, but it really in life happened to me the other day, and I was looking fly too that day. I was all done up and had my long sweater and my boots on. I was looking cute and stuff. So but MS is an invisible disease, you guys. So, by me being on this podcast right now and talking and moving my hands and stuff like that doesn't mean that I'm not suffering. It doesn't mean somebody else too isn't suffering. So we got to be careful how we treat those that we don't know their story. Such as myself, it's happened to me. So that taught me a lesson, you know, because years ago before I fell ill, I would think too sometimes, why are they in the car? They don't look sick, riding the little electric scooters in the store. But now I'm one
Mm-hmm.
of those people. I don't look sick either,
Mm-hmm.
so but that's not the case. That's not I suffer from multiple
Right.
sclerosis. I can't walk the mall. If I need a bell pepper and an onion, I can run into the store on a good day without my scooter or cane and come out. you know a lot of the things, functions for my grandkids, I have to go on my scooter. Even just on an outing with me and my honey, if we're going to the casino, I can't walk that floor and go all the way around. I have to drive it. So, but
Mm-hmm.
if you see me there, you're not gonna know that I'm sick. I could stand up and get my food off the counter when they hand it to me. That doesn't mean I could walk the floor.
Right.
So you gotta be careful, judging a book by its cover. It happened to me. And actually, I wasn't mad because we had just spoke about this prior show, and then I couldn't wait. My honey was a couple aisles over. I couldn't wait to get with him. About guess what just happened, because we just spoke about it, and it had never happened to me before.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on that note,
You know what the good thing about that was? The fact we talked about it, so you were able to react less angry, and you know what? It wound up being a learning experience for both of you.
yes. Oh, and I gave him 101 on multiple sclerosis. He was, and I'm so happy to do that. You
Hey,
know,
look.
when I come across someone, and honest to God, um, anywhere I go, if I happen to bring up my disease, they know somebody who has multiple sclerosis. The
Right.
lady at the blood place draw my blood the other day, and she asked me something. I said, well, I have multiple sclerosis. She goes, oh, my roommate has it. So we got into a conversation, and then this young guy at the grocery store who said that. And then so you know I wasn't mad, because I'm all about, I'm gonna enlighten you real quick in the most calm way. I'm gonna tell you right now about yourself, but I'm educating you at the same time. So I was excited because I got
Right.
to tell somebody, that perceived me wrong, that no, I have multiple sclerosis. And oh, what is that? Uh-huh. So he stood there putting away the cabbages and stuff for about, a few minutes while I gave him the 101. So then
Mm-hmm.
next time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he may, think twice before he sees, someone, in a chair that stood up maybe to pull an onion.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think twice. So I think he may have learned his lesson that day. Phil said, can they blood transfusion you monthly? It's not a blood transfusion. Um, you can do infusions. Your doctor makes that choice depending on your health and your type of multiple sclerosis. You can do infusions, but it's not blood. It's not blood transfusion. You're infused with medication for your specific type of multiple sclerosis.
Hmm.
So, yes, me myself, I do an injection shot monthly. Yay, Jason, we're on that Kesimpta. Stem cell treatment. I have not had stem cell treatment. I know a little bit about stem cell by researching, but me myself, I have not had stem cell.
And remember, everybody, this is just her journey. This is not medical advice. This is just her journey. If you have any medical questions that you want 100% clarification
Call your
on,
doc.
ask your doctor. This
Uh,
is just sharing some information that may help you when you go to discuss things with your doctor.
Yeah, just in
Um,
conversation. If I was
right.
your friend and we were having a conversation, that's exactly kind of what this is. And he and I both state that we are not doctors. I am not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice at all. It's only what
Right.
I've done and what works for me in my experience. Jason says, I've heard some people have took stem cell. I've thought about it, but scared to do it. Jason, I've me too, you know, and it's scary. And um the hard part from what I hear from warriors who that have had stem cell, not me, but other warriors, is the chemo treatment is what knocks them down, that hurts the worst, because they take your cells out of your body, and they basically delete your system, and then they got to put everything back in. And they say, um, from what I've been told, that's the hardest part is the chemo, and I'm
Mhm.
sure, and that'd be rough on anybody. Our Kesimpta that we take, Jason, you're on Kesimpta, I believe, right? Well, the Kesimpta that I'm on is given to cancer patients in a higher dose. So that with that being said, so I do feel sick 2, 3, 4 days after injecting. It's getting better, but you know, go figure. So I can imagine what the full
Mhm.
pull would be, being treated for, something worse, or having to do chemo because you're gonna do stem cell, so I can imagine that,
Well,
how hard it is in the body.
I know as far as cancer is concerned, I had a family member that went through chemo, and they told me that that was hands down the most painful thing
Yeah.
they experienced ever in their life. And this person has been shot twice
Mm,
and still had to go through chemo and other things that were, in my opinion, really um,
mm,
something that I thought was, and they said not to try to scare anybody or discourage anybody from it, because it definitely has its advantages, um, but it also has its disadvantages. And those things you should consult your doctor about and
right.
discuss. I was just mentioning what my family member went through and the things I had to watch them go through along with the aftercare of going
Mhm.
through every
Yeah.
chemo treatment. I mean, I've had a couple of friends that have went through it. I had a friend when he was very young, um, had to go through some chemo, and that was
Yeah, I can
probably
imagine.
that was an interesting thing to look at. But look, we getting way far out of the time slot. um we could talk forever with this because
Yes,
this is a great subject. That's why I'm trying to bring awareness to it. I want people to understand. Look, you might have a loved one out there, a friend, family member that has MS or anything. Please reach out to them, talk to them, support
yeah.
them.
Yeah, you just don't know how. the reception you're gonna get. And I tell everybody I have MS. I tell everybody, strangers, conversation in the grocery stores, if they ask me something or whatever, or oh yeah, I have MS and da 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 da. There's nothing hidden here. And I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody too on this note. Um, if anyone out there now or later pulls this video up, no, regardless of who you are, and you like the content, AG the dad and myself, the warriors, bringing with the awareness to our to social media. Our goal is to reach possibly you. Um, reach out to us, and strength comes in numbers. Get behind us. Let's do this. Let's make this big, where we could reach multiple people on different levels that are needing to tell their story, or need us to tell their story for them in any
Right.
fashion. Reach out to AG the dad. His information will pop up on the screen, as well as um, mine. And you guys have a good night and a better tomorrow. And I will see you probably during the week on my YouTube channel. Please come visit me there as well, at my MS Journey on Kesimpta. I do record videos of my journey on Kesimpta, injecting days, and so forth and so on. You got to come there to see more. And please be back here Tuesday, 6 p.m. We're going to discuss some other things, and who knows, have a couple more laughs about the shitty things that I bring up.
Shit talking Sundays, because every day is shit talking Sundays. And
So,
on that note, yeah,
yes. Thank you guys for tuning in, my warriors. Peace and love to you guys. See you back here Tuesday, 6 p.m.
right on, right on. Hey, everybody, I want everybody to, you know, walk away with this in mind. Um, just because somebody is sick doesn't mean they're helpless. Doesn't mean because somebody is helpless doesn't mean they're sick. Um, so, with that being said, help your friends. Don't assume anything. Don't read a. Don't judge a book by its cover. Um, and at very least, remember one thing. This is Shit Talking Sundays. I'm AG the dad. I want to bring awareness to multiple sclerosis and any other diseases or issues that may be out there. Um, at very least, I want you to think outside the box, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and be nice to one another, because you never know. One day you might need someone to be nice to you. On that note, I'm AG the dad. Peace, love, and soul.